In 1985, scientists discovered a giant hole in our ozone layer. This giant hole was caused by the excess amount of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide. During that year, scientists decided to calculate what would happen to our ozone layer in the future. In this picture, you can see where the ozone layer was in 1985. This is what the predicted result would be if we kept on releasing gases into the air. The ozone layer would completely disappear. CFCs, or chlorofluorocarbons, is the main cause of the huge ozone hole. This obviously leads us to ask the question, what is carbon footprinting?
I think it just means like the things, like you say your exhaust from your car, it's sort of like a carbon footprint, and then the more things that you do that are bad for the environment is a bigger carbon footprint.
The carbon footprint is how much waste and like how big of a impact you have on the Earth's atmosphere and environment.
Your carbon footprint is the amount of space you would require from our Earth in order to support all of your activities.
The dictionary definition of carbon footprinting is the amount of greenhouse gases, and specifically carbon dioxide, emitted by something during a given period.
In a survey that was filled out by 223 students from Belle Plaine Junior and Senior High School, 57.5% of students have heard of the term carbon footprint before, while the other 42.5% have not heard of this term before.
Carbon footprinting is how much carbon or non-renewables are you using. That's true. Greenhouse effect is a term that is used. That is a scientifically proven thing that does happen. We know this happens because we can make it happen in a greenhouse. That's how it happens. Air and heat doesn't leave, so we keep it in.
Why are we telling you this? Well, it's simple. We have a problem. Our carbon footprint has increased to an unnecessarily high level. We need to reduce this before things get out of hand and the Earth gets more polluted than we can handle.
Maybe you are asking yourself, what may have caused this? One of the causes of our unnecessarily large carbon footprint is population growth. Our population growth has accelerated in the late 1800s and the early 1900s due to the Industrial Revolution. This number was at a mind-boggling 800 million people born within the 50 years of the late 1800s and the early 1900s. This is roughly the same amount of humans than there were on the entire planet at the beginning of the 1800s. Another cause is industrialization. This really kicked off in the early 1900s due to a huge boom in technology. Industrialization continues today in countries such as China and the United States. This can apply to all sorts of different companies, such as car industries, food industries, and even electricity companies. In fact, if we keep emitting greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, there are going to be some effects that arise. One effect that may come is overall average temperature increase. This may actually already be happening in our world today. I want you to look at this graph. Those two lines look like they are very similar, correct? Well, if you have not read it already, the orange line is the line for temperature, and the white line is for carbon dioxide. This graph shows that there is a direct correlation between temperature increases and carbon dioxide emissions. It may only be a 2-degree increase in an over 100-year span, but this just proves that there is some truth to the carbon footprinting idea. Another effect is that the CO2 levels will become very high. Let's use a car for example. The production of a car is actually quite the emission of CO2. It creates nearly 11 tons of CO2 per car produced. In 2015, there was a total of about 45,600,000 vehicles produced worldwide. If we take that number and multiply it by the 11 tons of CO2 emitted per produced car, we come out with a total of 501,600,000 tons of CO2 emitted from cars alone in 2015.
Some people may argue that one person does not have much of an effect on the Earth. It can seem like that, but with 7 billion people, all the carbon emissions will add up. If everyone reduces their own footprint, the global footprint will go down also. Reducing your own carbon footprint can be as simple as changing your windows to cut down energy usage, so your heat doesn't leak out of the window. So you're wondering, how can we solve this? Well, it's actually quite easy. You can buy locally and organic foods. You can start putting more time into gardens. You can also upgrade your own house by having more energy efficient appliances, light bulbs, and insulation. You can also travel more eco-friendly, like carpooling, riding a bike, walking, and also having a energy efficient vehicle that has lower gas mileage or all electric like a Tesla. Or you can even drive better, like by accelerating more slowly and also maintaining a steady speed. These are all just simple solutions to a big problem.
All that they're trying to do with that is try to figure out how much you're using, how much carbon you're using over time. We want to decrease our carbon footprint. You can go to extreme with that. That's not my thing. There's shows out there, tiny homes and using extreme measures, even like compost toilets to decrease their carbon footprint. I don't think we need to go to extreme. I think being conscious people about energy usage, not like, well, let's go out there and try and not update our vehicles, not oil change our vehicles, decrease our usage of those types of things. Those are not things I think we need. I think we should look at doing those types of things, and that does decrease our carbon footprint. Small it may be, it's just where do you want to fit in? Do you want to go to the extreme? I personally would not do that, but I would say using less, being more conscious about trying to make the environment cleaner, trying to do those types of things, the air cleaner. Those are not bad things in general. Do you need to go to? Does everybody need to go to extreme? No.
Yeah. Do not drive your automobile. Don't live in such a nice, big, warm house. Reuse your stuff instead of buying new.
Recycling, kind of like turn off water and electricity and stuff.
Not driving everywhere, walking more, taking the bus. We don't have buses in Belle anymore.